What is up, everybody? It's me, Rich, coming at you tired as shit. All right, so last week I said I was going to be going to Southern California, and I did. It was so awesome. God, it was awesome. I want to go back. The worst part is I came back to Massachusetts, and it was immediately 15 degrees, wind chill at -1, a little bit of snow on the ground already. And mind you, the entire week I was in Southern California, 85 and sunny. Yeah, Southern California was so nice. I was in a bunch of really nice neighborhoods all week for my doing stuff with my company. And yeah, 85 and sunny, man. It was perfect weather, like no crazy breezes. It's not cold really. I mean, in the mornings it was about 50, 55. I loved it. I loved it so much. I want to move there so bad. It would be nice. The neighborhoods that we were in, they were, like I said, they were beautiful, but every house was either between 500,000 and like 1.5 million dollars. It was insane. Like the cleanest neighborhoods I've ever seen. Probably a place I'll never live, unfortunately. There was Lake Forest. These are all in Orange County. So there's Lake Forest and Mission Viejo, primarily speaking, for testing and where I was staying. Wikipedia search of Lake Forest, and it said something like it's one of the safest places to live in America. So I was like, all right, let's go test this bad boy out. So after work, I would pretty much just like start walking the streets with headphones on, listening to music. And I can attest to that, man. Everyone was super cool. I'd walk by, multiple people walking dogs, hanging with their kids, whatever it may be, just saying, hey, how you doing? Stuff like that. Hey, hi. Everyone was real nice. I didn't meet one like annoying person, one mad person. Granted, obviously, this is just kind of like a vacuum of awesomeness in one spot of California. I'm assuming other places have, different things going on that might not be as safe. But at least in Lake Forest, where I was hanging out, it was fantastic. It was really cool. Like I said, the streets were super clean. There wasn't ridiculous traffic going on, people beeping horns, getting mad at people. It had a cool feel to it. Every main road was, genuinely busy, but like it wasn't bad enough where you couldn't cross the streets, or if you got in a car, you wouldn't be able to get anywhere. I took an Uber ride, which was kind of expensive. It was like a 20-minute Uber ride, but it was $35. I took that ride from Lake Forest to Garden Grove, Orange County, and it was a kind of a crazy feel there. So I met up with a buddy of mine that I met on Instagram years back. He was doing American Ninja Warrior stuff. I was in love with American Ninja Warrior. I was trying to start training for it, and it just we linked up online, and I finally was able to meet him in the real world. It was a fantastic day. That was on Wednesday. So I get to Garden Grove, and he's like, so you've never been to California before, have you? I'm like, nope, this is the first time. He's like, all right, cool. I've got a surprise for you. And I'm like, all right, what are you thinking? He's like, let's go get some coffee. Now I'm kind of taken back for a second. I'm like, coffee. Seems exciting. Not. We're going to go to like Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts. That's all I could think about. But I'm like, sure, man, let's do it. Let's get some coffee. I'll take a coffee. So we start driving to this place. He's, not telling me anything about it. It's just like, you'll see. We get to the place. Walk inside. Just I see tables, people sitting down all over the place in chairs. They got laptops out, smoking cigarettes, vaping, whatever, right? I'm like, all right, this is kind of cool. This is a little different feel. We sit down. And then this girl comes out of nowhere. She walks up to us. She's like, well, what do you guys want to drink? So I look at her. It's a bikini top and thong. Bikini top and thong. I'm like, all right. And stilettos. I was like, all right, this is pretty cool. Holy shit. We order a couple smoothies. I got a pineapple smoothie. We got like this tea on the side. I don't know if it was like green tea or whatever, but we got tea on the side. So we're hanging out, smoking, talking, just shooting the shit. And periodically, the girls would come up to us, different ones. They'd come up to us, and I shit you not, they would have their tits out, just nonchalant, pouring tea for us. And they pour us tea, and you see, like, my buddy would, he would take a couple $1 bills and slide them in. What the fuck is going on here, dude? This is not normal. Like, back on the East Coast, this shit does not exist. You want to see tits, you go on the internet, or you watch some chick dancing on a stripper pole. That's it. You don't see this shit. It was literally like Starbucks meets strip club, and then fucking magic happened. It was crazy. We were there for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, just hanging out, constantly getting refills of our drinks. The girls were super fucking hot. I mean, what can I say? They were smoke shows. Good hiring process on their part. Guys, a good company. Leaving there, got to get some food. And he takes me to this Korean barbecue place, and I have never been. The closest thing to Korean barbecue I ever had was at D'Angelo's, and I got a Korean barbecue sandwich. So I was like, yeah, I like Korean barbecue. No, this is different Korean barbecue. This is like real, authentic Korean barbecue. We get in the place, it's fucking dead. There's not a soul in there except for the workers. And we sit out at this table, and they just have this big, like, I don't know, frying skillet or whatever the fuck it's called, right in the middle of the table. We order a bunch of different meats, grilling them up right in the middle of the table, eating them, putting spices and sauces on that. Oh man, that was good. That was so good. It was kind of an expensive meal, but it was so worth it, man. It was really good. So we were there for, I don't know, about an hour and a half. I don't know what it was, but drinking a couple beers, hanging out. And then I tried Cali weed. That's right. I had California weed. Now, I've heard some stories about weed from California, primarily from the Joe Rogan podcast and things like that. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't smoke a lot of weed, and I don't eat a lot of weed, but I do like weed. This shit was insane. I'm just going to put it like that. I had 2 rips out of a bowl. For the next couple hours, I was giggly as shit. I had way too much fun just talking about random stuff. We got in the car, we just drove to this rock climbing place, and the entire time I could not stop laughing. It was just like a nonstop smile on my face. It was hilarious. My entire body was like just shaking with tingles. It was hilarious. But anyways, I digress. So we get to this rock climbing place. And so he was the Ninja Warrior guy, just super upper body strength, real strong, the whole thing. He's a really good rock climber. The only time I ever did rock climbing was back in high school, and it was like a 6-foot wall, and you could only rock climb sideways. It wasn't hard. But I was so down. I've been wanting to do rock climbing for years. So we get in the place, I get my rock climbing shoes on, and we start at the easiest difficulty, which is called a V0, and it goes up in steps until it gets to a V10, which is, I mean, if you could do a V10, I mean, you're Spider-Man at that point. Let's be real. It's insane. Like, the shit is like, it's like grabbing onto a guitar pick attached to a wall and lifting yourself up. I mean, some of that shit's crazy. But anyways, I start off with a V0. It was actually really easy. The grips were super big. There was a lot of area for me to like wrap my hands around, and I just pulled myself up real quick. It was probably like 12 foot high. It was about 12 feet high, and you were kind of going, zigzag back and forth until you get to the top. It was easy. Start doing a V1, a little bit more trickier, obviously, but I did it, and it felt great. And I'm like, God damn, I'm not that bad. So I started doing a V2, and this is where the problems happened. I spent the next 2+ hours on this one line, grabbing a couple of holds and just immediately falling down. My arms from my wrists to forearm, biceps, shoulder, chest, my abs, my lower abs, like where you get hernias all the time, that shit was blown up. I thought I had hernias everywhere. I was in so much pain, but I wanted to get that V2 so bad, so I tried so hard. Eventually, like I said, after a couple hours, I was on my last run. I'm like, this is it. I got one more left. My arms were burning. I was so tired, and I gave it everything I had, and I don't know. I touched the top of the wall. It just, I'm so pumped about it. For whatever reason, it's just a V2, but I did it, and it was like the beginning of what I think is going to be a lot of fun for me, because I'm definitely signing up for rock climbing. That was great. Hopefully, the next time I get out to California again, I'll be at like a V4 or a V5, and I can really start, throwing some stuff together and hanging out with the big boys. So that'll be fun. So that was Wednesday. So, so thanks, buddy, man. If you're watching this, thanks. That was a great time, man. I really appreciate it. So Thursday was my last full day to be in California, because I left on Friday night. And at the hotel that my buddies were staying at, my coworkers, they'd give out free breakfast, breakfast, dinner, and then with dinner you'd get free wine and beer pretty much all night. So I'm like, this is my last hurrah. So dinner was good. We had some pizza and stuff, just kind of whatever. I pretty much drank 2 full bottles of Merlot wine to myself. And I was hammered. I was beyond hammered. Just hanging out with the Irish people. There was a lot of people from Ireland, partying up with them. And since they're Irish, they can party. And they thought I could do the same, but kind of cut from a different cloth. I'm kind of Americanized, and granted I can party, but those fucking people can party. And they're throwing me beer after beer after beer. Mind you, after the fact, I've had 2 bottles of Merlot. I was super sludgy. I was fucking hammered. But I wanted to party, man. It was my last night there. And so that happened. And then I decided to walk home to my hotel room, which I thought was really close. It was technically right down the street. So I plug in the location on my GPS, and it says it's 45 minutes away on foot. Now, like I said, I'm hammered. I can't specify that enough. I was hammered. I would have blown like a 0.3. So I decided the best move I had was to just run home, cut the time down in half, and get right to bed, because at that point it was like 1 in the morning. Well, when you're hammered, like I said, hammered, you don't really know how to run properly. You don't really understand how to put one foot directly in front of the other, so on and so on. Well, I fell about 4 times, and I don't know how good the camera's going to pick this up, but there's some of it. I fell a couple times in the middle of the street, because for whatever reason I wasn't on the sidewalk. There was cars in the road, not a lot at 1 in the morning, but there was cars in the road. Now, like I said before, I'm in Lake Forest. It's like one of the safest cities to live in America. You have my dumbass running, holding a cell phone up so I know exactly where I'm going, falling in the middle of the street constantly. I don't know how they didn't pick me up, because I would have stuck out like a sore thumb to anyone. But I made it home safe, finally. I decided I'd wake up in the morning with the worst hangover of all time. It was absolutely awful. It was a fun night, so I guess it was well worth it. Time well spent in Southern California. I cannot wait to go back. I'd like to say I'd live out there someday, but it's so expensive. Who knows? So until I get back out there again, I guess I'm just going to have to settle down on the drinking again and just continue to better myself. But anyways, I figured that would be a good, like a 1-week update progress report. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.